What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first official real episode of the Last Wave podcast. This episode, we've got something pretty crazy. It's something that I actually saw maybe a week ago on the news. Well, not on the news, but on different websites that I surf around the web and stuff. And it popped up. It's been making its way around the internet a little bit. And just a heads up, I will post links to this article in the description. So you're going to want to go check this out. I don't want to use any of the pictures because, it can get a little hairy with copyright situations, but you definitely want to go check this out if you got time. So apparently, in the middle of Siberia in 2018 in the summer, so I guess it takes a while for news to get out, they found a perfectly preserved 40,000-year-old head of a giant wolf. Like, are you serious? And I'm not lying. Like, it's pretty well preserved, like to the point where one of the scientists said it seems to have died while it was snarling. Like, how does that happen? Like, they discovered it because of melting permafrost and all of that good stuff. But honestly, if you look back, however many millions of years ago, there was no ice in Antarctica, global warming, yada, yada, yada. We'll get into all that. I think the Earth just goes through cycles. That's a whole nother story. But anyway, we'll get back to this. So it's just the head of a giant wolf. And when they say giant, they are not lying. The head of the wolf was, I believe they said 40 centimeters long, which is about half the size of a modern wolf's body. Wolves are already big as hell. Like, if you've never seen one in the wild or like fully grown or anything, these things are massive. They're not like your Yorkie. These things are huge. So the fact that just the head of this thing was half the size of a normal wolf's body is just insane to me. Apparently, let's see, estimated to be almost 40,000 year old, that's crazy. I mean, you can see teeth and the nose, gums. They said the brain is perfectly preserved. Apparently, it was uncovered by a local farmer who found it in the summer of 2018 on the shore of, I'm not even going to try to pronounce what river that is, but it's a tributary in Siberia. Japanese scientists, or the ones that went to check it out, it is a fully grown Pleistocene wolf. They say it's fully grown, but they also mention it's only 2 to 4 years old. I don't know how they know that that's full grown. It could be, growing, plenty more years. I don't know. It's science. That's above my pay grade. I'm just reporting on it. So, again, 40,000 years old. That's incredible. And it's just, it's got to be some type of flash freeze. It can't just cool over time. I mean, I don't think your steak is going to hang out in the freezer for 40,000 years and be fine, just the way it was. But they said the brain matter and everything, it's perfectly preserved. That's just crazy to me. They do different views in this article. Again, I will post links to it. There's different views from the side. I mean, you can see ears. There's fur. I mean, you can see everything. It's crazy. And like I said, it is technically a wolf, but it is unimaginable how big this thing would be. It'd probably be the size of a small car. I mean, a Volkswagen, but still, that's a big ass animal. If it's a predatory animal, you don't want to deal with that. That would not be fun. They said it died when it was snarling, which was crazy. And this, again, only 2 to 4 years old. I don't know. The crazy part is the rest of the body hasn't been found, which I thought was kind of interesting. Like, you have a whole head pretty well preserved, and the rest of the body is just nowhere to be found at this point. Well, I mean, it's, that's, months and months ago. They would have had to found something by now. So that's pretty crazy in itself. Apparently they don't go into it, but I kind of get an idea of later on in the article why it's just a head. They don't mention it, but it's kind of obvious. Apparently, alongside this massive wolf head, an intact entire cave lion cub was found. Cave lions also lived in the Pleistocene, also huge. You got cave bears, giant wolves, giant lions. I mean, what a time. I'd hate to be a human out there with a spear, hunting wolves and lions and bears the size of cars. That doesn't seem fun to me. That seems rather risky. Again, apparently the lion cub was also perfectly preserved. They show a picture of that too. It is. I mean, it's not like pristine shape, but it's whole, which is again it's crazy. The lion could provide massive insight to animals from the Pleistocene. Well, I would imagine so. There are also a lot of unanswered questions, obviously, but if they're going to go into the brain, they're going to be able to figure out so much stuff. I mean, that's so much matter, just in that area. You got the whole wolf or the whole lion cub there. You can go in there and see if there's anything left in its intestines. You can see what it was eating. But I'm gonna go ahead and throw this idea out there. If it's just a head found near a cub, I'm gonna assume the parents of the cub probably killed the wolf, brought the head back, and then some ecological disaster took place and everything was flash frozen. Um, I don't know. Who honestly knows, but that kind of makes sense. Like maybe the cub couldn't get out in time, and the parent lion just had to bounce. They I wouldn't be surprised if they found them somewhere near there. But I mean, it's just a crazy story. Um, they're gonna try to match everything to modern day lions and wolves, obviously. But just look again, you've got to see these pictures because this little lion club is like curled up. I mean, it's absolutely freaking insane to actually have a find like that. I mean, you might as well just find like a fully grown mammoth, which they have not found a fully grown one. But there's a lot of pieces out there. I'm really surprised they haven't cloned them yet. It was Expedition Truth, I want to say, one of those Travel Channel shows, and they did a whole expose on the frozen mammoths and pieces and stuff. They went in this scientist, I don't remember where it was, but some scientists literally had like a whole walk-in, like a whole chilled freezer full of pieces. I had never seen anything like that in my life. They had freaking trunks. They had fully like from the knee down. I mean, they had feet. I mean, it was absolutely ludicrous the stuff that they had, and like I can't imagine just finding that stuff. It's got to be crazy. But back to that story. Again, that should be some really really cool science on how these things have actually lived together, what they ate. Again, obviously it was probably wolf meat, probably each other. They tried to. That's what I would be. You know, that's what I would assume. So, but again, that's just a really super cool story. I was really blown away by that, just the pictures and everything. And again, I will be linking to that in the description. This is probably gonna be a short episode, just because this is just something I saw in the news a couple days ago. Haven't done a whole ton of research into it, but I've looked up a few things, and I just thought it was really interesting. Thought it was something I could share. Be an easy video to get out. Hope you like my little picture that I put up. Again, I'm really new to this podcast thing. I'm used to throwing it up on videos on games, and your visuals done for that. So I'm trying to find a few different pictures, modify them, all that good stuff. Obviously, I don't want to get copyright striked, but it's probably gonna happen at some point. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. That's my little short video, my little short story for today. And thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hopefully you didn't sit there and watch this whole time. I kind of feel bad if you did. But again, thanks for listening. Thanks for coming on the journey. And thanks for, I don't know, that's it. Thanks. We'll catch you next time.